Maybe you're a newer player and you need a few more details because you have no idea where to even start with going into this latest patch. Or maybe you're just a veteran player who hates reading release notes. I totally understand that. You may also be concerned because you want to know that you're getting all of the resources you can in preparation for Lucia Crimson Weave, who's coming after Ayla Kaleido. And don't worry, I'm worried about that too, so I'm going to show you where you can get all of the black cards and event construct R&D tickets you can. Whenever coming into a new patch for Punishing Grey Raven, they give you this convenient little square over here to access everything you need from the latest patch. Now you might be first looking at this menu going, what the heck does any of this crap mean? Let me tell you. Starting from the top left, you're going to have access to the main story spiral of Chronos. This is where you can see Lee Hyperreal in all of his full glory, along with some cool animations that are packed in there, along with the new boss, and you can get their full story experience. Now, I'm not going to say it's a huge rush or pressure to do this story mode because it's being permanently added into the game, so you can come and access it at any time. You may want to rush a little bit if you're way earlier in the game because you're going to lose access until you get to this point in the story. Whenever a new patch comes live, they always give everybody full access to the latest story. You can go in and play it right away, but that will come to an end. And then after that, you have to clear all the story before it to be able to access it. So each of the stages is about, I believe, 50 black cards. So you're going to have about 8 combat stages to work your way through, about 50 black cards for each. You're looking at about 400 black cards coming in from the story mode. Back in our menu here, we have However Improbable, the character trial. This is just a character trial for Lee Hyperreal. There's not going to be a ton you're going to be able to get from here. There are the tutorial stages that give you a few additional resources back for your time. Other than that, it's nothing crazy. Gives you a quick link to obtain him. It also gives you a quick link to take a look at his awesome Bloodborne-esque coding. Now, quick side note about the coding. I'm going to recommend you don't buy it unless you're willing to just put money into rainbow cards, then sure, you can buy it. But this coding is going to be added to the coding exchange shop, so it is free. By free, I mean farmable. So you can get that later on. You don't need to put pressure on to purchasing it right now because it's not going to go away like some of the other more limited skins, which we'll talk about those in just a sec. Back to our menu here, we also have the candlelit Manifold. Now this is where you're going to be spending most of your serum daily, as it is the most efficient method for getting resources for raising your characters within Punishing Grey Raven. Each stage as the patch progresses is going to give you 2 stages to enter into. In the first stage here, you're going to be able to get these resources called time frozen hourglasses. And on the second stage, you're going to be able to get some time frozen hourglasses, as well as a chance to get random memories. Now you may be thinking, well, I want the random memories. That would be great. Don't do it. It's a trap. And here's why. You get significantly less hourglasses from running on the second stage, and there's no guarantee of what memories you're going to get when clearing it. There's also not even a guarantee you're going to get a 6-star. So you're not going to want to run on the second stage. You want to get the most hourglasses you can because then you can use those coming into the event shop. In the event shop, you're going to be able to access first the collection, which is all the memories that Lee Hyperreal is going to need. They're discounted because he's the debut unit, and you're going to need to get at least 4 of them in here. But then there's also in the special category any other 6-star memories that have previously released in the game, so you don't have to roll the dice and hopefully get them. You can just come in and purchase the ones that you need. Way better use of your serum. On top of that, you can buy gifts for Lee Hyperreal if you don't care about that. In the normal stage, you can get everything else that you're going to need. So everything that you're going to need for raising Lee is available in this shop. It's the most guaranteed way to get everything that you need. It's the most time and serum efficient way to do that. So run the first stage to get the most hourglasses to get the materials that you need. Priority, of course, always goes to raising Lee himself, followed by his weapon, and then the cub third. Something that makes it really convenient and easy later on too is once you reach authority level 5, like I have because I've burned a ton of extra serum in advance, you get the ability to just auto clear it, so you don't even have to keep fighting through the stages once you hit authority level 25. You can just come in and burn 240 serum in one run. Also, by increasing your authority level as the stages come through, you get some extra black cards. So, through all of it, you get 250 black cards, which equates to about 1 pull. Beneath that, we have the Arcade Anima side story. This is another permanent game mode that has been added for starting off right now, just Alpha or Lucia Crimson Abyss, where you can go through. She's got an additional character side story, and you can get up to 250 event construct R&D tickets. So again, no pressure to clear it right away, right now, because you can come back and you can enjoy the story and get those resources. They're permanently added, so don't worry about it. Just come in and get those when you can. There are eventually going to be some challenge stages added, but you can't clear that without having Alpha on your account. But also, I don't believe there's event construct R&D tickets on those challenge stages anyway, so no stress. If I'm wrong about that, correct me in the comments. Next, we've got Radiant Respite. In here, it's just a trial stage for Chrome's new coding. Nothing special about it. A few resources for your time. That's it. So don't worry about it, or do it if you want to. I don't care. I'm not your mom. Next is a rerun for a side story here from a summer event that happened with Lucia Plume, where you can come in and see that. There's also a trial stage where you can go in and try out Lucia Plume's coding. In here, there's just 40 quick event construct R&D tickets that you can do. Now, you can quick link to get to look at her coding. You can see this on the Gacha shop here. You can go in and you can actually see what the in-game model version looks like. Don't get me wrong, this is a great looking coding, but if you are free to play or a low spender, don't do it. It is a waste of time and money and black cards, and you're way better off getting new characters and weapons than trying to go back and get a coding like this. As far as codings go, Lucia Plume is going to be used for a long time to come, so like there's definitely still a lot of value there, but it gets really expensive. Don't be misled as well. Like look, first research is only 50 of these tickets, but the cost as it continues as it gets more and more expensive to do so. You can actually find that in the rules. It's a little bit tricky down here. You can see each research needs to cost a mermaid gift, and the research cost increases as follows: 50, 100, 250, 400, and 600, 800, all the way up to 2,700. Now you're thinking, well, maybe I get lucky on the first one. I'll do one pull at 50. It's a trap. The probability of obtaining various rewards for each research is different, and there is a probability of obtaining the coding Dance of Riplets starting at the 5th research. You can go to the drop details to check the probability there. So that means, no, you can't get lucky and get it on the 50. You need to spend 1,400 black cards minimum, or a handful of rainbow cards minimum, before you can actually go in and get it. And that's not even a guarantee. The guarantee doesn't come until 10. So you have to spend potentially a whole 10 pull of these materials to get it. Now look, the rainbow cards are heavily discounted to 80%, but that's not free to play. That's real money. That's real money on those rainbow cards. So me personally, I don't think it's worthwhile. Yes, you can maybe get some tickets and stuff back along with it. I don't know. I just don't think it's worthwhile. But all the Lucia Plume fanboys in the comments, leave me alone, okay? Crimson Weave is better anyway. Next, over here on the right, we have the hard mode of Hyperspace Collapse. On patches when they get released, sometimes they will include a challenge stage for bosses that have been recently added into the game. This is the new boss that comes with the new chapter, so if you want to get a chance to just try and fight her, you can have a lot of fun with that. And it might be worth your time because you can get up to 250 event construct R&D tickets. Now to get those, you do need to get a minimum of 12 of the stars, hexagons, whatever you want to call it. You need to at least get 12 out of 15 to get all of the event construct R&D tickets. If your account's not very heavily invested into, you're gonna have a hard time with doing that. But so what you can try and do is try and at least get a full clear on 1, 2, and 3. 4, try and aim for at least 2. You're probably not gonna be able to get 3 if your account's not very heavily invested. And then on 5, just try and get 1. Then you should be able to at least hit your full 12 there and get all the construct R&D tickets that you can. If your account's heavily invested and you can't do it, that's a skill issue. That's on you. Don't worry, I'm right there with you. Just a reminder, this is not permanent, so you are going to want to put some priority on this. Just keep that in mind. The next thing below that is the simulacrum submersion. The simulacrum submersion is a game mode that has been added in. It's just a combat game mode. Within the simulacrum submersion, there are 6 different levels that you can clear. Within each of those levels, there's going to be 6 different combat stages that you can fight. As you clear those combat stages, you can get different rewards from perks out of characters, also to getting this currency of the simulacrum spiral and this currency for the memory synapses. This is something you're going to want to pluck away at just slowly over time, because there are daily missions that do give you increased amounts of that simulacrum currency, and you can use that currency in the recycling arrangement to come to the special tab here and get more event construct, target weapon, and cub R&D tickets. Bonus along with that too is the exchange vouchers, which is also helpful for getting some shards for other characters that you may want, like Rosetta Rigger in my case. But you can only get those by progressing through the challenge game mode and by having enough of the currency to buy them. Now, again, this all works out to about 2 free pulls on the character banner and then 1 weapon and 1 cub. But again, you're just trying to scoop up everything you can in advance for a character, you're going to want to get these. The other reason why you're going to want to pluck away at this over time is because, again, 6 times 6 is 36, baby. That's 36 different combat stages that you're gonna have to clear through, and trying to just, you know, rush through that on the last day to get everything you can. You're gonna waste a lot of time, maybe burn yourself out a little bit. So just pluck away at it slowly over time. If you're worried your account is not strong enough to come in to do that, don't worry. You can see in the member preparation here, you can access your units or trial units. So they do give you units to be able to clear it. And then you're, like I said before, you're going to unlock character perks here. They're called add-ons in this game mode. You're going to unlock them from the add-on codex here, which you're going to be able to put on your characters as well, just to give them a little bit of boost in damage and help your gameplay through that. But they make it seem really overly complicated when you're walking through this, like, simulacrum walkthrough. Makes it seem like way more complex than it really is. 6 levels. Within the 6 levels, there's 6 combat stages. Use the trial characters to clear the stages. Add on codexes as you unlock them to make your character stronger. That's it. That's really what matters, at least. Our last few things here is we've got the spectroscopic binary star, which I can't show you directly because it's still locked, cat grab, and magic square trial. Spectroscopic binary star, I'll try and throw a screenshot just overlaid before us. This is an event that has happened before, where you're going to be able to go in and you're going to go into a combat stage that's going to also have 6 stages within it. How it's different from the game mode we just talked about is that every character you use on a stage is not usable for the following stage. So you kind of lock up different characters as you move along. There are trial characters for that one as well, so don't worry about it. But it is a little bit tougher to try and do that and make sure you've got the right characters going into the right stages. If you're having a hard time, you can look up some guides on that. But yeah, that's going to be coming soon, December 26th, after Christmas. So enjoy Christmas first. The next game mode is cat grab. It's just another Arcadea mini game. There are going to be some resources along with it, so just go and clear that to get the bare minimum out of those, but it doesn't require a lot of explanation. Same with our magic square trial that is currently in operation right now. I know you might not want to do it because you're like, what is this minigame? Why am I doing it? Well, keep in mind on these event missions, if you go to the accumulation mission, look at that, more event construct R&D tickets. So make sure you're going through and clearing those. Again, works out to about 1 free pull, 250 event construct R&D tickets. But again, you know, when you're calculating all these up, it's starting to add up, right? Across these different game modes. That's a lot of free pulls that you can start working through. So keep that in mind. When you're doing that, you're getting your weeklies of your pain cage and your war zone and everything else adding into it. That's where you start to accumulate on the free-to-play side to be able to pull the characters that you want to pull. Then if you're like me and you're willing to buy a monthly pass, I'm not encouraging you to, I'm just saying you can. It's the most cost-efficient way to actually get black cards and resources. You can also, you add up pretty quick and you're basically guaranteed to get any new unit that's going to come your way. Not a heavily invested one, but you can at least get one. But that's it, guys. That's my really quick walkthrough of the full Spiral of Chronos patch, walking through all the different game modes, things that come along with it, and where you can find all the resources from the patch specifically. Let me know if you've got any questions in the comments down below. I can look at trying to answer those. And if there are any corrections that I need to put in there, I will leave that in a pinned comment at the top of this video. If you made it this far in the video, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. I appreciate you, and we'll see you next time.